Hi guys, so today I have a quick review for you. So one of the first items I'm going to be using is this water decal set. And it's just some beautiful blue and teal flowers set on some white background. And I'm going to be placing that on my middle finger. And then I have a few different molds here. I haven't quite made up my mind which one I'm going to use. But this one, as you can see, there's a bunch of little flowers on there. And then this one has some little butterflies. And this one's just a different style of flower. I think for the review today I'm going to go ahead and use these flowers here. And I'm going to be placing that on my thumb as well as my ring finger. And I'll be using white acrylic powder for that and monomer. And I'll show you that when we get to that. I think to start out today, I'm going to set the molds off. And we're going to go ahead and start with the water decals. So for this I'm going to be using some paper towel pieces just to clean up the water. And you're just going to want to start by opening it up. And you're going to want to decide which one you want to use for your finger. So I'm doing my middle finger today. So I'm probably going to end up using the second one. So here's the biggest one. I'm going to use the second one here. And I'm going to cut both of those out. Now there is a plastic sheeting on this, as you can see there. I'm going to remove that after I cut it out. So I'm going to start by cutting it out. So these came from BornPrettyStore. Before I get started, I'll just show you kind of what I have on my nails. So first for the white, I just used some of this Christina UV gel. That's the white on there. And for the blue, I have Die Hard Nails, and the color is Blue Velvet. And then over that, on my pinky and pointer finger, I have Blue Cocktail, which is just a teal holographic glitter. So what you're going to need once you've picked out your pieces, you're going to need your water. And I'm going to go ahead and set that kind of off to the side. And you want to kind of size up and decide where you want your design here. So I think for me, I want that big flower to be the main part of it because my nails are kind of short. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of pre-cut that for the curve of my nail. So I'm just going to come in and just take off the very corners of that. Of course, you can skip this if you want to. And I'm not doing it perfect, I'm just kind of roughly eyeballing it. And then again, I just want to double check that when it lays flat, it's going to cover the entire nail. So once you get that to the desired shape, all you're going to do is you're going to pull off the clear backing that's on that, and you're going to place it right into the water. And you're just going to let that set and absorb the water until it starts to pull away from that. So, and you can see it starts to pull away pretty quickly. So I'm just going to grab it from the other end. And I'm going to try to place that on my nail. I'm going to flatten that out with my finger. And once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to go ahead and remove the excess. Now, what I like to do to remove the excess is I use a file or a buffer, and I just go down very softly around the nail, and you can see it just starts to come away. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure my edges are down really tightly, and I'm pressing it to make sure it's sealed completely. If you have any excess water, you can go ahead and go in and kind of dab that up with a tissue. So once that's dry, all you need to do is go in with your top coat. Start at the very back and pull forward, making sure to get all the way on the sides. And then you want to make sure you cap your end. And you can use regular polish. I'm using UV gel for this. And I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds. So once that's cured, I'm just going to spray it with some rubbing alcohol and go ahead and clear away that tacky layer. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process on the other hand, and then I'll meet you guys right back for the next step. So for the next part of the manicure, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this and pull out the little mold. I'm going to be using a number 2 acrylic brush. I have some monomer and white acrylic. You can also use UV gel in these. You'll just need to cure it in a light, and then when you pick it out, once it's hard, you have to clean off the dispersion layer and then glue it on the nail. This way I can just put it directly onto the nail. So I think I'm going to start with my thumb here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these 2 little joined here. And so I'm just going to dip into the monomer and pick up some of the Once you get that filled in, you're just going to take your brush and you're going to start kind of pushing it towards the center to keep the lines clean. If you need to dip back into your monomer, you can. And you're just going to keep doing that until you get your sides completely clean. Now you have a choice at this point. You can press it directly onto the nail, or you can wait for it to dry and then you can glue it. Either way will work. Once you have your little flowers done, all that's left to do is to figure out how to stick them down. I'm going to be using top coat to stick mine down. Of course, you can use whatever you like. You can use glue or stick them directly onto the nail when the acrylic's still wet. That's up to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a generous amount of top coat. I just wanted to say thank you to BornPrettyStore for sending these items to me for review. I'll have all the links down in the description bar if you guys. I was really impressed with the water decals. They worked really well. I really liked the adhesive that was on the back and that you were able to trim it down to the size that you needed. They stuck down really well. I have used some in the past that have smeared when you put top coat on it. These ones didn't do any of that. There was no bleeding at all, as you can see. You know, they worked really well. Same thing with the molds. The flower itself came out really crisp, and I'm sorry about the glare. I know it's kind of hard to see, but hopefully you can see the detail on that when I block out some of the light. You know, it came out really pretty. The detail's really nice, and I know it gets kind of washed out on film, but I just wanted to let you guys know that those both worked really well. I'll have the links for this in the description. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. And as always, thank you for watching.